Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this video I want to take a look at what is going on in Germany. Even here in the Netherlands, if you want to get fuel in Germany, which is a lot cheaper than in the Netherlands, interesting. But if you want to go over there, you need to bring cash money. There is a problem with bank passes. I have read a reaction somewhere underneath a video that there were people that could get some fuel with credit cards, but if they wanted to get things from the supermarket, they have to get cash money. So apparently you cannot buy anything with bank passes right now, which must be extremely frustrating for the German people just in general, because they like things to work. And this is very interesting. So I'm going to take a look what the energy is. What is this about that they have to use cash everywhere, or at least in a lot of places? Not sure if it's already fixed yet. I couldn't find that. Maybe it's already, how do you say that? It's already changed back, but it's interesting that this been going on for a couple of days. So let's see, what's that about? We have the Four of Wands, that's the card above. We have the Tower, that's the central card. We have the Five of Pentacles in the past. We've got the Sun underneath the central card, and we have the Emperor for the future and the Devil. That is very interesting. This is very interesting. So this is about collapsing old systems. So I do believe this has to do with a new financial system we're getting, and we're going to get it worldwide. But I believe in Germany, it's kind of starting that people will have to pay with cash money. And I think it has to do with changing things. If I'm not mistaken, the Deutsche Bank still tried to print money a couple of weeks ago, and there was a raid by the police to stop that, because the whiteheads really want to take away all the money from the dark energies, so they are not capable of doing any more of all those things they've been doing around the world, all these operations. They won't have the money to support it anymore. We are changing to a completely new system, the quantum financial system, and that means it's backed by gold and silver. You can't just print things anymore, and it's just out of air. You cannot create that anymore. They're taking away that possibility for the dark energy. So things are collapsing. I think this has to do with bringing in the new system, because there's this beautiful energy above and underneath. These are the influences. We've got the Four of Wands, and we've got the beautiful Sun. So I think this is about changing the system. It's changing there. You can see it. And we already had some malfunctions here in the Netherlands as well, that you couldn't use the internet for banking and things like that. I've seen it with a couple of banks, that you wouldn't be able to access them, and then later on you could access it again, but there were some malfunctions. So there were a period of time you weren't able to access your banking or see what was going on, or maybe even do some things, get money transferred. It wasn't possible at the time. So I think this is really showing things are changing, and we're walking away from this horrendous system that's really corrupt and taking away our money, and really it's just a horrible system. We're walking away from that, and this is very interesting. We have the Devil, which is dark energies, and we have the Emperor, which to me is military. So I do believe in the near future we're really going to see this clash more and more, and we're really going to, even in the financial system, really going to see the change. I think we are going to step into the whitehead financial system. I understand that people are like, well, there's going to be a new financial system. Does this mean that this is going to be the great reset? Of course, I don't think so. That's not what I'm feeling. Of course, see what resonates with you. I think we're heading for a completely new, fair system that really evens out everything. So we all have a certain amount of wealth, and I think between countries there won't be this if I'm not mistaken, everything will be like on the same level. So if I get €1, and I'm not even sure if that's going to remain as a coin or as money, the euro. Maybe it's going to change. Maybe something else will return. It doesn't matter. But if I use €1, it will be like $1, and everywhere around the world it'll be the same amount. So everything will be balanced. And we most likely will get money from our birth trust fund that they've really used to sell us. That's like a completely different story, but we will be able to just get more than enough money, and then we can decide how we want to work, how we see life, how we want to fill in what we want to do. So that's very important. We're going through a complete new era with a complete new way. We won't have to worry about money anymore, or making it to the end of the month, things like that, because that's a very low frequency. Like I've said before, we are creative beings. We really want to be creative. So you have this excuse like, well, if you give people money, they don't want to do anything anymore. Well, that's because of the system we've been living in that's been really keeping us in a low frequency. But now we are starting to raise our frequency. We will want to create, because that's really what we're about, creating. So I see this as a good thing. I'd like to take a look at New Zealand. Apparently they are also lifting some restrictions. They have been lifting some restrictions to travel, and now they're lifting more restrictions. I just want to see what the energy is in New Zealand at the moment. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles as the central card, we have Justice in the past, we have underneath the central card the Six of Swords, and we have the Fool for the future, near future, and the Five of Wands. So that's interesting. It's like more and more things are, if I'm not mistaken, kind of following the agenda. And of course right now we still have the puppet walking around there. So it seems that the dark energies are still in control there, but I do believe things are changing, moving away. I see this energy that they're moving away from that, but still it takes some time, it takes work, especially with the Knight of Pentacles. That's the Knight of Pentacles is like this energy of first seeing, observing the situation, and then starting to take action. And I do believe that people in New Zealand are finally starting to take some action, and I mean a very practical way of looking at things differently, and maybe even starting initiatives. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, so the central card is about health, is about starting like a new form of society. So I do believe in New Zealand things are changing, but it takes time, because Pentacles are usually a lower energy, and I'm not talking about like negative, but I'm talking about like the Sword energy is very fast. It's happening now, just like the Wands. It's very fast energy. This is more of a practical nature. It's for the element Earth, so it takes time to see what's really been planted. It's like a lot of things have been planted and it's going to show, but it will take time. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about like a lower energy. So this is not like a low energy in New Zealand. I believe that things are really changing for the better, moving away from these dark energies, especially with the Fool in the future. But it takes time before people can truly see what's going on. And I do believe with this card of Justice in the past that a lot of justice had already been served, although we're still stuck with some puppets. But a lot has been going on there. So in the near future, or the future, even the period ahead, we have the Fool. So that's like a new, completely new start, new energy, possibilities. And we have the Five of Wands. So it still will look like there's still some struggle going on. People might still see things happening that they really don't want to. So there's still some struggle going on, but people are opening up more for new possibilities. So I do feel change is coming there, but it will take time. I also want to take a look at Australia. I just saw an article from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that in Western Australia, the mandate for most workers will be lifted next week. Dus from Friday, June 10th, the state's mandatory policy will only apply to workforces working with the most vulnerable. So they are loosening up that restriction and the mandate for workers, which means that people still can get back to work that did not get the wasp sting. But I just want to take a look at the energy of Australia, what's going on there. Let's see. We have the Two of Cups, that's the card above. We have the Nine of Cups, that's interesting. We have the Page of Swords in the past. We have the Six of Swords, similar to New Zealand. We have the Empress for the near future and the King of Pentacles. These are actually beautiful cards. So there is a lot of healing going on right now. A lot of healing going on in Australia. It's probably not something you can see right away, but things are changing, and especially on an emotional level. So I do believe that people are starting more healing, starting connecting with other people, and it's spreading. It's like a new energy. I think a lot of people also in Australia are kind of tired of everything that's been going on. I think they are connecting more, standing up more for themselves. So things are changing there as well, but it's more of an emotional level. So the energy is more changing, but probably faster than in New Zealand, but things are changing and they're moving away from this situation as well. They have the same card as New Zealand in the same spot as well. So these are the influences on the central card. And this is very interesting. They are moving away. Just like New Zealand, Australia is moving away from this situation. For the near future or the future, the time ahead, they have very beautiful cards. Again, a pentacle card, so things are changing. Probably will take some time, but they will be practically changing. And they have the Empress, which is again this beautiful energy of connecting, of relaxing, of enjoying. So I think that there is an emotional change going on in Australia, that people are looking at things differently, connecting more with themselves, with their feelings, with their emotions, with their intuition. This is of course for me, the sacred feminine principle. So I think they are more focusing on that. So they're more changing, and it will take of course some time, but we will see changes. And you see very direct results of those changes, because this is a pentacle card, and pentacles are of course the earth element. So you're going to see changes in the direction they're taking, in how they're going to handle things. So I do believe in Australia things really will change. But there's this emotional different energy, like healing energy going on in Australia. So I do believe people are more connecting, people are getting in touch with their energy, which is the most important thing that we need to do. So I do believe things are changing that. I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye!